Nathan, why are all the lights off? Like, this really isn't funny. Nathan, I know you're trying to scare me and it's really funny, but just stop it, alright? Please. Nathan, where are you? Nathan, why is the house dark? Please.
I'm just kidding. It's Michael Myers. Do you want to hear me do some small Shrek? Hey, Brenton.
G'day, mate.
G'day. Another day.
Another episode, another day.
Tell me, I want to start this pod by talking to you about fear, because by golly have I got a couple of them, but I want to throw it into your ball pit first. What do you reckon is your biggest fear at the moment?
Well, the biggest fear in my ball pit is, it would probably be a fear of heights.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say like something really generic, like fear of death, or like fear of famine or something like that. But
no. I'm doing the most
pushing your ledge, you'll
thing.
squeal like a pig.
I'm not. It's like heights. Okay, here's the top three.
Here's the top three. Okay.
Heights is there because when I get high, I get the shaky knees. I get all that happening.
What about when you're like on a ledge, not when you're like doing a joint? Like,
no. Let's be clear. Fear of heights is referring to a fear of height when you are above sea level. And you were, however many meters that is.
I know what a fucking height is, mate.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, usually you are on a ledge when I have that sensation, and it's quite scary. So the next...
How high do you have to go? How high do you have to go for you to get really, like, piss-ass scared?
Piss-ass scared? 15 meters, probably.
Ah, okay. Are we talking, like, on the edge, or just, like, just the knowledge you're that high up?
On the edge, it'd have to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like something you get from like the 19th to the 20th floor of a high rise, and you're just like, "What? Nope, time to freak out."
No.
Whoopsie daisies.
I'll handle it. Like I'm not in the elevator, like gripping the walls, like screaming.
You just
my
got a
head
knife
off.
ready to go. Like,
It's
me out.
It's definitely induced when I'm aware of the height, when I see it.
And how are people around you when you get like afraid of heights? Are they like encouraging, or are they just like?
They probably don't notice because I just kind of shut down.
Oh, okay.
I go into I don't act when I'm in that
face.
state. I just kind of like I grit my teeth and I get through it. But it's a horrible experience. But 2 and 3 are a bit more, even more generic.
Oh, okay.
Number 2, these are both modes of death. One is burning to death.
Yeah, fair.
And the second is drowning.
Okay, so like if you had to choose between drowning and burning, which way would you go?
They're both horrible.
It's like I fear both, Nathan. I just revealed that goodness. Like, give me a break, buddy.
I can't even pick one. God, they're both so horrible.
Well, I know. Here's my thought. Like, if you burn to death, like it's either hot or it's cold. I feel like drowning. You just go underwater. You know it's gonna happen. So you just take a big gulp of water and then bam, you're gone. I feel like burning, like you want to dance, but you're probably tied to something. If not, you just like dancing about. Like,
I feel like the
it'd
drowning
be longer, wouldn't it?
The inducing. I don't think it's even about length.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Isn't it though?
That's what she said. No. I think it's the knowledge of drowning is the fact that like you're gonna have that fight to kind of live through it. There's gonna be like. You don't just kind of give up
like,
as you're no, of course, but
your body's still like shit.
Once you're on fire, there's nothing like you can obviously do about it.
Excuse me, you can stop, drop, and roll. Thank you.
when you're drowning, there's a sense of I think that like you're gasping for air. Your body is trying to do the thing that it does naturally. Burning is not something the body does naturally. No. There's no like prepared response the body
back
goes
up. You
through.
mean drowning is natural? You're just like
no, but you're trying to bring yourself back to a natural state. You're gasping and your lungs fill with water.
Whereas your body's just like dancing when you're on fire, and they're like, nah, like this.
They're both
fun.
bad. They're both as bad as the other. Ugh, it's not nice to think about. It's pretty horrible.
But see, here's the thing. So, like, fear of heights, like, you'd easily get into a scenario where you'd be like, oh, whoops, this isn't fun, and you start freaking out. But fear of burning to death and drowning, like, I imagine you don't see many people burn to death and drown. So,
no, I think
you wouldn't get much of a reaction.
It's the knowledge of I think they're the two
Wouldn't
worst ways. For me, thinking about it, they're probably the two ways I think would be pretty bad to go.
Oh, okay.
I understand what it's like, and it doesn't equate to necessarily drowning, but I know the sensation of of gasping for air, let's say, like
that's true.
Underwater and being underwater for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And I think the
I'm
reason
just
I'm
talking about
scared
like
of
when a
drowning,
sibling farts,
when I was when I was younger, I did nearly drown. I remember there was a moment when I was a toddler and I jumped in the pool and I couldn't swim and I sank to the bottom and was trying to get back to the top and I started drowning and thankfully my dad saw what was happening and saved me. Father Graham,
what a
thank
good
you.
guy.
Thanks,
He's
Dad.
like, I better step on in here.
I'll give him 10 more seconds.
let's make this a growth moment for the son.
So yeah, and burning, I guess the closest I've come is sunburn. And that's pretty scary.
You still do a bit of a dance around there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have
what about yourself?
I don't have that many I do fear things, but like I don't know. I still have an irrational fear of spiders. Like, you put me... you know what? I'm fine with... Like in my house, you can very clearly see there are a lot of daddy long legs that I live with, and they're fine. They I don't care about. I care about the spiders that, like... Well, you've heard my canoeing story. Like, that was...
Yes.
That's, like, cemented my fear of spiders. But, like, things where, like, you can see the hair on the spider. Stuff like that. That speaks me a fair bit. I've had trouble with, like, snakes or any other animals, but...
I gotta say, like, spiders I can deal with. I can deal with spiders, and I
can deal with heights, so we can help each other.
Well, and this is coming from someone that's been bitten by a white-tailed spider.
Crikey.
And they don't fuck around. Like, I remember like watching like it bit my leg. I think it was like it was around just above the knee here. And I remember like that one.
The viewers can see Brenton pointing to the top of his
knee. Let that image sink in. No, and I remember like where that bite happened and then like literally watching all the flesh around it decay and my leg like literally turning purple and whatnot and being rushed to hospital when this mark appeared on my leg and watching it deteriorate and then kind of recovering from it. And that wasn't a good time. That was very painful.
That's pretty scary. But I do fear hospitals, actually. I'll give you that.
Hospitals? Hospitals are horrible.
I fear them deeply.
Yeah, like you go there to get better, but like, if you...
No. They're way too clean. They're way too sterile. Everyone there's way too cheery because they're trying to cheer up the people. Everyone's miserable because they're sick. Like I've only had to be. I'm very very lucky. Knock on wood, someone. But like I've only had to go to hospital twice. I think in my whole life for me. And then outside that, maybe I've had to do a couple visits for a couple family members. But apart from that, it's been non-existent. And every time I go, I hate it.
Have you ever gone under the knife? Have you ever had a surgery before?
Once when I was 16, I had just come back from a month trip to Africa and, just doing all the community service, Brenton, saving the children and all that. And,
all right, Nathan, we know you're an upstanding citizen, you
I don't want to toot my own horn here. But no, I came back and, for years and years and years, I had, a brown dot on my, on the right of my belly button that, right before the trip had turned black. And if anyone knows anything about melanomas, that's a very big no-no. And so I came back and I'm like, Mama, my stomach seems to have gone black. And she looks at the doctor, she's like, nah. And she takes me straight in and he's like, we got to cut that shit out.
What was it, out of interest? Do you know?
I have no idea. I know because there's different like levels of like skin trauma or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And mine was the one below melanoma. Like it was that bad. Like it was the one right before you get melanoma.
Okay.
So like, dude, you're 16, you got to cut this out. And I'm like,
oh God.
I don't like anything
Are
medically.
you kidding me? We've never talked about this.
No, haven't we?
No, we've never spoken about this. And this is the reason. Sorry, the reason I say that's interesting is because I have a very similar experience around the same time. So,
oh, really?
But continue.
That's so interesting. I guess we just never talked about that in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, I remember being very disgusted by it, and I had to lie down. They do what you do. You get stitches. They cut you open. You're bleeding. They needle you so you don't feel anything, hopefully, but you still see it going on. And I'm like, I asked, can I be knocked out for this? And they're like, nah, it's not that big. But I found it that big, and I'm like, I have to watch this shit.
Yeah.
And so I was just sitting there. I remember, but I hated hospitals long before that. But I remember after the operation, I was just thinking, I am never coming back to a hospital when I'm ill. And I don't think I have had to go to hospital since.
When you had the surgery, did you have a general anesthetic? Because then you weren't knocked out? Or
no, I wasn't knocked out. I was fully conscious.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so hospitals, nah. And you know what? I will need a hospital at some point, and so I'll have to get used to it. But like,
you have to grit the teeth and get through it.
Yeah, tell you what, fear needles as well. Yeah. Absolutely hate
needles are
needles.
horrible. They're absolutely horrible. I think I'm starting to tolerate them now.
Oh, really?
And I'm 23. Yeah, so
Wow.
it's taken time, yeah.
Oh no, I still I will black out if I have a needle on me. Like genuinely.
Gosh,
it's
yeah.
terrible, medically diagnosed trauma I get.
Going back to the operation thing, there was a point in time that I had something in the middle of my chest cut out of my skin.
Oh dear.
And it was a similar case. It was a Spitz-Nevi, they're called. And Spitz-Nevi is a benign,
Sounds
let's
like a
say...
spell.
Yeah, it does.
Spitz-Nevi.
It's not Spitz-Nevi. It's Spitz-Nevi. No, it's a benign juvenile melanoma.
Oh goodness.
So it's a melanoma, but it's not one.
Oh, okay.
But it's not cancerous.
Well, that's good news.
It's not. It's similar. That's why I asked. Maybe we had a similar thing. But I remember going for that. I remember not being scared by that though, because there was a period of time that the specialist, So I went in for the first surgery, and I had the option. They said, "Oh, it's in the middle of the chest. It's right above these organs."
Oh, it's in the middle of the chest. Watch out.
So we'd like to put you under for a full anesthetic. That you go under and we take this
and you're
big
like,
chunk.
I'll take the lot.
and they were like, we'll take the lot. And we were like, because the thing was they were going to have to give me skin grafts if they did that.
Ooh.
Over my chest.
Crikey.
Anyway, so I come back and coming into the, the weight room after you finish your surgery and whatnot.
Yeah.
And because I was in the cancer clinic, the skin cancer clinic, there was all of these old people around me. When I came to, and we all were kind of coming together, and I looked around and people had their noses had been cut off, their ears had been cut off.
I'm next.
And they're all looking at me, and it was the oddest thing, I was going to die, because they just assumed that
Did you decide to just quit high school and then just start selling methamphetamine? And just do it out of a van
But it was the weirdest experience. It was these people looking at you like you're going to die, and it's yeah, he's one of us.
They'll start grabbing at you, back off.
It was strange. And it was they were giving me sad looks of, oh, this poor kid. And I was like, no, it's not.
Oh, not me. I'm getting out of here.
I was like, what about you? Yeah. Anyway, fears, hey? Who needs them?
Oh, yeah. Well, welcome. Hello. How's it all going?
Welcome to episode number 21.
Now, I asked you last week if we had a speech ready. Oh my God, he's going to do one.
This had better be the biggest episode yet. 21.
That's it?
21.
I thought you were going to go to all these memories.
This is it.
My 21 years
This
of
is
life.
it. It's been building to this, man. It's been building to this, to where officially we can drink in the United States. We can gamble over there. We can take this podcast anywhere in the world.
No, we
now.
can take this podcar anywhere.
Yeah,
This is your 21st
Come on,
birthday
get
present.
that classic movie Banter podcast. Let's go.
In the podcar.
Let's go, guys.
Quick present to the podcar.
Coming to a city near you. Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should do a podcast episode in a car one day. Just drive somewhere for a 2-hour drive and
Holy
just
crap,
do
yeah.
Wouldn't that be good fun?
That'd be lovely, yeah.
That'd be great.
That'd be perfect. Do a nice afternoon recording session.
You know what we should do? We should how there are those cars from the early 2000s who had a TV in between the two seats. The one that could fall down off the roof. When cars briefly had that, and everyone decides it's a fucking weird design. Let's be the passengers. Have someone drive us for 2 hours and we watch a movie in that.
Oh my God, yes.
And then we do an episode immediately afterwards, and we make it a 4-hour road trip.
It kind of reminds me. Do you know that episode of The Simpsons when Homer becomes the car designer? That car company
and he makes the
hires
Homer car, yeah.
And he makes the Homer car, and it's got the two little bubbles.
Yeah.
And they're separated for the kids and the adults, and everyone fucking pans that car. And I remember as a little kid thinking that car is so awesome.
It's great.
I love it. How could no one like it?
Did you ever play Simpsons Hit and Run?
Hit and Run,
yeah,
yes, and
because
it's
you
in
get
the game.
to drive it,
yeah.
and it's amazing. It's
Dude,
so good.
That game is incredible.
It's so good.
Actually, I don't know if it holds up. I hope it holds up.
I had a mate who had a PS2 in college. This was in 2014, and he had a PS2 version of Hit and Run. Holds up incredibly well.
The costumes you can unlock for all the characters, the
final
story
level
of
when
it.
it's Halloween and it's the zombie.
Yeah,
zone.
and the zombie apocalypse, the aliens are coming and whatnot. And the costumes, all the cars you can unlock. How you can unlock the Mr. Plow car, the King Plow car.
Oh, it was so good.
Bart's rocket, what do you call it?
Oh, yeah,
rocket sled thing.
Yeah.
And they all have you play as all the different characters. You play as it was so weird because you start as Homer, then you play as Bart,
then Lisa, then Marge.
then Marge, and then Apu was the fifth character.
Apu was great though.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was
you got to beat up those weird wasps with cameras. They're just
it was so good. And just incredible. Like, and lots of just attention to detail stuff from The Simpsons and like all the episodes and whatnot. Like how you could like go up to like the broken down monorail. That, like the Springfield monorail that was being built that episode, and you can drive you can hop in the front part of it, and it just kind of like derails, and you like drive it around town. It's hilarious. Like, it's great.
Oh, it's so great.
Oh, such a great game.
Oh.
Yeah.
But speaking of Halloween, we've got a very special treat because it's the 40th anniversary of Halloween. The film.
Do we have a trick or treat?
I think this is a treat.
I would agree.
Yeah, but also maybe tricky.
But yeah, this is the 40th. A tricky treat.
Yes,
because this is the 40th year since Halloween was released in 1978.
There you go. And what an anniversary. And, you know, the new film's coming out. Jamie Lee Curtis is back. John Carpenter's executive producing. I presume... Is the villain still Mike Myers at this point?
I'm pretty sure.
It must be. Like,
I have watched the trailer, and he's coming back out of that.
He's back and better than ever.
He's coming out of that asylum.
He heard the call last week. He heard there was still work to do, and he's ready to do that work.
Well, he's 23 in this film, so he must be pretty... Well, he'd be 40 years older.
They take the mask off. He's like just wrinkled as fuck. Like,
he'd be 40 years older. He's 63-year-old Michael Myers.
He's like,
terrorizing.
2 more years of killing, then I get my pension. He's like,
I mean, like, let's be honest, no spoilers or anything, but that guy can take a beating. So age, I imagine, probably doesn't do anything. He probably takes the masks off, and they're like, "Wow, Michael, your skin is so smooth."
What smooth skin you have, Grandma? What a big knife you have, Grandma.
It's like Gandalf in Fellowship of the Ring to Bilbo. You haven't aged a day.
Yeah, he's meant to be like 120 in that film as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so it's my week, isn't it? I think for the pitch.
Yes. Nathan, I'll tell you what I want you to do right now.
What do you want me to do right now?
I want you to pitch me this movie.
Oh, I thought you might put your clothes back on. I'm like, yes, still get to stay naked like the girls in this movie. Okie dokie. So, welcome to my Hollywood studio. It's the 1970s. And we've probably just done a couple of lines of cocaine.
19! Sorry.
We've done a couple of lines of cocaine in the office. We've probably looked through a lot of scripts. Star Wars just came out. Everyone's saying, let's make some sci-fi. I say nay, Brenton. I say nay. We're not going to make Star Wars. We're going to give $300,000 to John Carpenter. And the movie that he pitched me, which I'm going to pitch to you, good sir, is that it's Halloween night, damn it, in the current year, 1978. And there's young people running about, including a young Jamie Lee Curtis. She's in high school, and she's a girl who's, you know, hasn't got much going on, frankly. Like there's no real plot to this movie. All it is that Mike Myers, a guy who did a bad thing when he was a kid, he's escaped the lunatic house, and he's coming for everyone, but especially Jamie Lee Curtis for reasons unexplained. And there's lots of killing, and there's lots of dying.
Murder.
And there's lots of murder. And not as much as you'd think, but still a lot of murder. In a wonderful hour and a half horror film that isn't too scary, but still quite scary.
Good pitch.
Thank you.
Well done.
I feel like I'm actually getting worse with these pitches. Like,
no,
you know how you say with
you are not getting worse. Let's be honest. If anyone on this podcast is getting worse at their pitches, it's definitely Brenton. He rambles on like no tomorrow about, you know, like he kind of comes around full circle and gets to the point at the very end, but it's just long-winded and boring, isn't it?
Let's just get rid of him. Like,
fire his ass.
Thank God he's not here, am I right?
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Thank God his twin brother Lenton is doing the podcast.
Can you imagine
today?
how awful this episode would be if Brenton was here? Jeez.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, yuck.
But no, so that's Halloween, and yeah. Do you want to crack the egg open?
I will crack the egg open.
I mean, we've already got the Band-Aid pile on the right, so let's add some eggs to it.
I will throw that egg on the floor and smash it open because I gotta say, I loved this movie.
It's so good, isn't it?
I loved this movie.
It's so good.
Oh man, so good. This is a iconic film.
I was just going to be like, this is a film.
This is a film.
This is a movie.
This is an iconic film, and from what I understand, the, you know, obviously this is lauded as, you know, one of the greats of the horror genre, and oh my God, you can see why. You can
so
totally
good.
see why. Everything about this is just really a fun time.
It is actually. It's genuinely fun.
It's such a fun time, and
I might preface this because I hate horror films. I said this when I said Silence of the Lambs. But you know what? Silence of the Lambs wasn't horror, in my opinion. I think it was more thriller. This
definitely.
is a proper slasher film. This is like by the billing horror. And it actually isn't that scary. One, the jump cuts aren't really jump cuts. There's maybe like 4 of them, and they're not even jump cuts.
As in jump scares, sorry?
Yeah, jump scares, pardon me. Yeah, pardon me. Yeah, I meant jump scares. Because the music spikes a little, and a scary thing happens, but it's nothing on the scale of like what Paranormal Activity would do. Like as a big scaredy cat, I say you'd be fine with it. Like, it is genuinely not that scary. I would, however, say don't watch this film alone. Because I could have not watched this film alone. Because it's currently nighttime, and Brenton, you've come over to my house.
I think the horror genre shouldn't really be watched alone, unless you're like a film geek and you're watching it for to garner something from it film wise and to to learn something
right on all the
from
Dutch
it.
angles.
But yeah, exactly. But I think the enjoyment comes from this is watching it with a group of people and having a good time watching a bunch of young people be brutally murdered.
Yeah, this is one of the films that it's good to talk through, like with your mate with, because I was talking to you a fair bit in this.
Exactly.
And, like, it helped keep our nerves down, but like there were points I was gasping and I was grabbing you and I looked frightened and you looked frightened and we were both just trying to distract ourselves. It was spooky, but also the characters in this film are so fucking dumb.
They're awful. They're awful.
They're moronic.
But that's the point. I will say John Carpenter, I think, is a smart cookie.
Isn't he though?
He is, yeah. From
beautiful direction.
He's some fantastic direction, narrative work in the sense of this genre piece, and also, and by that I mean that there's no real. We just said the characters are all pretty cookie cutter. The plot's not really there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is quite meta. This film kind of comments on itself, and there is a level of like genius, I guess, to that. Because
it's like,
given that it is in this genre, yeah.
It's like you watching Psycho, but you started at the Bates Motel. Like you've already like spoiler for Psycho. It's like the shower scene has just happened, and now it's just Norman Bates just ripping shop. Like, that's the whole film. And, like, it has you don't really know that much about the antagonist overall. Like, you know he's a little bit cuckoo, but you never know why. And, like, there's not really much of a plot with any of the other characters besides they're just, like, cliche high schoolers. Like, they're getting ready for the prom. Yeah. And, like, like, they don't really have any arcs, any of these characters.
Yeah, for me, it's like they've picked young people to personify, I guess, to personify just, what's the word? So Mike Myers, we'd say he personifies just like pure evil, and then
like the themes or like the motifs, like
I guess the characters. It's like pure evil versus innocence.
They're the personification of these ideas.
Yeah. It's like versus innocence and let's say, I was going to say stupidity, but let's say
it does play into the cliche of like horror characters being dumb and like making poor decisions and all that stuff.
Exactly.
And also them representing sin, like the sexual lust in this film and like the nudity and the drugs and all that stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And recklessness, I guess, from the young people.
Yeah.
And
it's very 70s, isn't it? All the doors are unlocked and like everyone's trusting and the neighborhood's beautiful. Lovely neighborhood, isn't it?
Oh, small town. It's a good place to live, I think.
Small town girl.
Live in a lonely world. Michael Myers came to ruin the night, and it went on and on and on and on.
That was our Journey cover. Thank you.
Yeah, end of the episode. Thanks, guys.
See you next week. Bye.
But yeah, and we got to talk about the music as well.
Oh,
we got to talk
great
about
soundtrack, isn't it?
Oh my god! And again, back to John Carpenter.
Yeah,
like what a guy.
Yeah, he did the music. Like the director's like, do you reckon he Stanley Kubricked it? Like he was just like, I'm like in the pitch room. He's like, well, we got to save money anyway. I'll do the music. Well, yeah, we got to save cinematography. I'll do the lighting.
I think that was the case. I think this film, it reminds me.
Do you reckon in the pitch meeting that he just put on like a wig and he's like, I'll be Jamie Lee Curtis. Like we've saved enough money in the budget. He's like, I'll do it.
I'll do it. I'll play 6 characters. I'll do it.
I'll be Mike Myers. He wears a mask.
I'll play the little boy. I will. I'll play the little girl as well.
John, we have some money. It's like, I'll do it.
Yeah, I think it's so obvious to me that this came out the year after the original Star Wars. Because in terms of the production, how it kind of ran into trouble, like was kind of running low on the old funding, how and just and not only just from the behind the scenes aspect of how it was made and the difficulties of making this, but also just like the film itself. There's a lot of visual storytelling in this, which I it's like the first, let's say, 10 minutes of this is all. There's basically no dialogue.
No,
it's
not
all
really. No meaningful dialogue, at least. Yeah.
No, exactly, and it's all just establishing some things, and then there's some really great music over the top of it that kind of tells you the story. And it reminded me of the first 10 minutes of Star Wars, the original Star Wars, in that sense as well. Like it's just very. I don't know whether it was inspired or whether it's just the time or what it is, but yeah, I love visual storytelling, and I love when something like this not takes its time, because this film like has such a good pace to it, but can just get the little details through to you succinctly and without wasting your time, so you can get onto the good stuff.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you want to see the new Halloween after seeing this film?
Shit, yeah.
Absolutely.
But, I imagine there's a few other Halloweens, though. There's a Halloween 2.
I think there's like endless sequels here. Like,
exactly.
I think there's one where it's like, is there any verses? Like where he versus like Jason or like Freddy or anything like that?
Oh,
I
think it's Freddy versus Jason. Jason being from the Friday the 13th, and Freddy being from Nightmare on Elm Street.
So does he cross over? Maybe it's only its own thing.
Maybe he does. I don't know.
I must say though, like I feel like this film is very believable, but there are some things where you're like, oh come on, like they weren't that trusting in the 70s, or like he only has a knife. That is his only weapon. He chokes a lot, but he only has a knife, and I'm like,
a kitchen knife, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big fuck off knife. Like it's a very big knife, but I feel like if the same thing were to happen to me, but I don't know, like, you know, they're horror movie characters.
I feel like, yeah, again, it's that thing of like, I would agree with you, and there was a point in this film that I kind of changed my mind, and it was when
you just gave up. You're like, let him kill them all. Like you just stopped caring.
But there was a moment where we were saying what the characters should be doing, and it's like, just come on, just turn around, like be aware of what's going on. You're obviously scared, and you'd be looking around, and you should clearly be looking into that room where the guy's standing or whatever's happening. And then the film would comment on it. Like the next shot, it would jump cut to something else, whether it was like something that was on the television that would be like, bar the doors, close the windows.
He's playing with us.
And it's playing with you. And at that point, I was like, this is the point.
You're like,
the point is that these characters,
coy man, John Carpenter.
The point is these characters are so totally stupid, and so it's inviting you to kind of be a part of it in that sense. And so I was like, yeah, the movie's doing that, and it's actually succeeding in doing that, and making us like you, who's not really a fan of horror films, and me, who kind of has never really. No, I wouldn't say gotten into the genre, because there's films in the genre I like. I haven't watched enough horror to be like, I love horror.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel like it's hard to hold this up compared to other films, because like
that's it.
I've seen barely any horror. So I can't... You know what? So I think this would be a great introductory horror film, but like, should we just rate it?
Do you want to rate it? Yeah. Oh, dude, my thumbs are way up. Yeah.
Same. 100%. Like, this would be great for a Thursday night if it's near the end of the week and you need to wake up. Like
Halloween, the actual Halloween. Like if you're at a party or something, put this on.
Even just in the background would be great. Like.
Yeah, just in the background, or maybe like, you know, the start of the night, everyone watches this, and then I don't know, it's just a good time.
Yeah, it's great, and like, it's great. If you are like scared of horror films, this will be fine. Like I'm such a like scaredy cat with horror films.
Yeah.
So I found it okay. Like
the other thing I'll say in this section before we get to spoilers, but I'll reiterate in spoilers, is like how great Michael Myers kind of is. I said he's like that personification of evil, but that mask, everything about it, it's so iconic, and it's so kind of creepy, and it's used in a lot of different ways.
He is actually very scary.
Yeah,
and like the way the camera pans on him. Yeah, it is very spooky.
To be honest, like at the start, maybe it's a bit samey. There's a lot of similar shots and stuff, but it's never boring, because
it
the silhouette, with it later on. The performance, everything, it just works. Yeah.
Also, I must say, with the rating, if you're used to your Paranormal Activity, like Bye Man, like the modern horror kind of like jump scares, constant, hard cuts, like you probably might be bored with this a little bit.
Maybe, but I'd say this is better than...
I feel like this is way better.
I think it's way better. And it's way better paced too than some of that new horror crap.
Because the tension just builds and builds. Because of the long burn.
This explains things about the antagonist. It explains things, and it's very succinct, like I said, and doesn't really go in depth, but it doesn't need to. I think a lot of horror movies today that I watch waste so much time going into the into the details of
why,
whether it's the nun or whether it's whatever the hell
why
it
the
is.
paranormal activity works, like with the Ouija board and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly, it's just like stop it.
The best villains fuck all about. It's like there's a mystery there, but I imagine that because I'm talking naively, but I do imagine a lot of those films.
Yeah,
maybe not just horror does it. Too many films today give you too much
exactly.
backstory.
You're exactly
because they want
right.
to sell toys, they want you to fall in love with the character, so you got to know the character. It's like no, just let us know nothing.
But it's like I think so. My other favorite horror film is, and this again is coming from someone that hasn't seen a whole lot of horror, is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay.
One because it's so zany and fun.
Is it fun? Is it more scary than this?
I think the idea is scarier.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what it?
Yeah. It's about you. He attacks you in your dreams, right?
Yeah. You can't escape him. You go to sleep, and that's where he gets you. And kills you.
I feel like in real life, if there was a guy coming after you and you just fell asleep, he would just stab your sleeping body. Oh no, quick, but there's someone coming after me.
But it's such an awful concept and a scary concept in itself that it is kind of, that's the scariness.
Is it when you wake up from the dream, then he comes into real life? Is that how it works? Like,
it depends.
Ooh.
He fucks with you. Like, yeah, they play with it. Again, it's so zany and fun, and at the same time kind of terrifying. And that character, Freddy Krueger, is, awful as well. But they're, for me, like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street are kind of from the same stem, the same kind of.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Then they're from that same
they're both like
kind
70s, aren't they? Or maybe Elm's 81 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. But then I was going to say, from a modern perspective, you watch something like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
And again,
which apparently is brilliant as well, mind you.
Yeah, my point is that these films, they don't really explain much. Like, Blair Witch doesn't explain anything. It's just, let's go find the Blair Witch, and that's it. Yeah. And so the best horror, I think, doesn't show the horror all the time. It ramps up that tension, and that's what this does brilliantly. So let's talk about the tension building. Let's talk about the breaking of the tension when we get to spoilers. Nothing but spoilers.
It's spoiler time. That was Michael Myers saying it's spoilers.
Speaking of which, let's spoil his fucking breathing. Holy shit.
Oh my goodness.
This boy's got a deviated septum or something.
Carpenter really loves Darth Vader, doesn't he? Like,
yeah, when we say inspired by Star Wars, top of the list, Darth Vader.
Exactly
yeah.
So let's go from the top. I like to top and tail it.
Yeah.
What a great opening with the piano, like, because they got the opening credits and it says introducing Jamie Lee Curtis, and you realize how fucking young she is. And you see her in that high school, and like she's just like, all studying about. I love that there's a subplot in this film where she's wondering like who she. Do we paying attention to this of where she's trying to work out who to go to the prom with?
I think it was like Benny or something. She was talking
something
about.
like that. And her friend's just like, he, I'll ask him for you, and she's like, shut up, and you're just like. Because you don't pay attention at all to what they're saying because they're just being stalked by Mike Myers.
Yeah. And,
do you reckon this film would have ended immediately if any of the characters just looked behind them at any point?
I don't know if it would have ended immediately. Actually, you're probably right. You're most likely probably right. But before we get to Jamie Lee Curtis, we got to talk about this opening scene.
Oh yeah, in the rain.
This opening POV shot. Yeah. This long POV shot, and a great kind of twist and reveal. Oh my god, just perfect.
Just perfect. Well done. Doesn't need any extra sauce. 5 stars. We'll eat again.
That's such a good scene. Like I don't even know how to make it better. I mean,
so the opening scene is where like the nurse and the psychiatrist are driving through like the town and no sorry, this is before that. This is the murder.
I'm talking about the reveal of little kid Mike Myers, creepy little kid. And so we start off and you think that there's like you're obviously assuming that this is Mike Myers, the grown man in the mask.
Yeah, what a twist when it's a kid.
That's breaking into a house.
What a wonderful twist.
And there's 2 things that are probably wrong with the scene. And I'd say maybe the nudity of the girl that's kind of just thrown in there for.
Probably wasn't needed, but like
the fun of it, like, and that's the time.
But here's the thing: I wonder if it was like if the nudity triggered it, like if that was like the cracking moment. Because she says to him, "Oh, Michael, what are you doing?" Like I feel like that's something he normally does. Is just like standing around looking creepy
with the kitchen knife.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because she doesn't react when she sees it. Yeah. She's like, "Oh."
But then again, okay, so
maybe it was the boobs and like.
Say if you were sitting in your room and your sister walked in with a kitchen knife, would you say anything? Well, how would you respond?
Oh, I know she would stab me in a heartbeat. So I would run.
You'd be
fuck
diving out the window.
Yeah, I would dive like a swan.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
And she gets stabbed, and I must say, it's not that gruesome when she gets stabbed.
No.
Like, it's, you know what? It actually feels like a plastic arm. Like, the way he stabs her, it's like you're moving a doll's arm.
Just think it probably is, because the camera's there. They've probably put a little mask, like a silhouette thing of like the eye holes over the camera, and then they've probably got a plastic like mannequin arm that they're like using in front of the camera.
It looks pretty
so they can
fake.
control. Oh yeah, it does. And the gore and the blood in this film like is. It's not the talking
not that
point.
gory, frankly.
No,
like,
that's
there's
right.
not that much blood. For a slasher film as well, like barely. Like when he puts the knife in the guy and he's like hanging off the floor later on in the film, like there's no blood at all. Like he would have cut several major arteries and like he'd be spurting, but nothing.
Again, props to the film. Like less is more sometimes, you know. Like
I suppose. I guess films these days are way too gratuitous, so it probably stands out for us more later on in retrospect.
Exactly.
So there's a plus for you.
But the second thing I think that's wrong with this, and it's just that classic. It's kind of like a stage show, like that pan out of that great reveal that, like, you know, the mask comes off and it's this little boy and his parents are there.
Yeah.
Michael, what are you doing, Michael? And then that kind of that slow kind of crane shot moving away, and it's like the parents are kind of like frozen in that freeze frame, but they're not. Like, it's weird, and they're just kind of staring at the sun.
They're
and
all really just like staying
the
there.
scene
like,
doesn't continue; it just kind of stops as the crane go up. So, which I get, it's stylistic and interesting, but
he's not Zack Snyder though. He's not like a slow motion. All the characters.
No, but that's
like,
it. Yeah.
Same thing happens with like Jamie Lee Curtis when she finds the body. She's just like awkwardly just like going, because she finds it finally, and then she's just like, and it takes forever for her to react.
Yeah, it's like a delayed reaction. It's like, well, for me, I said to you when we were watching it, it's like when she opened the door, I was like, well, there's nothing there because she hasn't reacted. And then it showed what was there, and I was like, oh, fuck, why didn't she react to that?
That's such a weird thing as well. Like, because he had like the body spread out perfectly in the bed with the tomb. Like, what was he trying to do with that? Like, was he trying to like have like a ritual or something? Like,
I don't know. I think it was just a... Yeah, you're right. I wonder...
It looks like it was a ritual. Like, he was going to like do some voodoo shit, like... I don't know. Maybe he's like, I'm just going to do some decorating. Like, Mike Myers just wants to be an interior designer. He's like, I'm just going to put up some drapes and let's have her sit here and we'll put a gravestone in here. Like,
yeah.
Because the guy's weirdly hanging upside down and he swings about.
Well, yeah, those bodies are very positioned like...
They're positioned well for, like, to scare a victim. Like,
or maybe not. Like, they're just very... perfectly placed. Like, and remember, like, earlier in the film, we see the little boy look out the window and sees the boogeyman that he thinks is the boogeyman carrying the corpse. The first thing he does is like grab that corpse out of the car, walk around the side of the house and walk inside like, oh, I've got the first body. Like, and
he's all giddy. He's like,
yeah. It's like a big happy stroll.
He's like, oh, waited so long for this.
Which I love how Mike Myers is portrayed as basically like he's still the 6-year-old boy, even though he's this 23-year-old man. He's like,
it's true.
He acts like the way he toys with his victims, the way he dresses up, the way he kind of moves through the house, and he's very, like, especially that scene, that creepy ass scene where he comes in after he's killed. I can't remember the character's name because she's not really a character, but the boyfriend is killed downstairs when he goes to get the beer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then he walks upstairs and he puts this sheet over his head and puts the boyfriend's glasses over the sheet, and he's standing there breathing at her. She doesn't really respond or fixes what's going on. But it's kind of when he's standing there, it's like a little boy in a Halloween costume.
Yeah, he's like,
peekaboo! Like physically staring at you.
And she's like, oh. I want to talk about what sets this film in motion, which is that nurse and like the scene where she's driving to the thing. I remember, it's the classic, like, it sets the film in motion because it immediately establishes that all the characters are so fucking dumb. And like, she's just sitting there with the psychiatrist having like small talk or whatever. And he's like, oh, you know, this mental asylum's pretty fucked. And like, all the also they're just letting like the patients just like walk around in the rain in the middle of the night.
I presumed that maybe that Mike Myers had staged a massive breakout.
Oh, that could be a thing as well.
Potentially, it's never
because the
said,
gates don't open as well. Like,
but like, why the hell would the staff let all the patients out in the middle of a stormy night?
I feel like this is a film. If you really thought about it, you could poke a lot of holes.
And the way the psychologist kind of reacts to the fact that they're all out, she's like, why would they let them out? And he doesn't say anything. He's like in horror, and he's like, I need to get to that phone over there as soon as possible. And it's like, it's almost as though he's like, and see if anyone's alive.
Whoa,
you know what I mean? Like call the
yeah, because when so the car gets attacked and he's just kind of standing there on the phone, just not doing anything, or just watching it happen, and she's just screaming about and she's such a dick because she winds the fucking window down.
Okay, so Mike Myers jumps on the roof of the car, like leaps onto it like a tiger almost, and her response is, "Something's on the roof. I'd better check it." Not, there's a bunch of crazy inmates outside. That one of them's probably on top of my roof. That sounds like a human body on top of my roof. I'm just going to wind down my window and poke my head towards the side.
Oh,
of course he was going to grab her.
And
head.
then all he does is just grab her. He doesn't actually attack her or choke her or anything like that. He just touches her face, and then she just like rolls about and then goes to the other side of the car. Then he smashes the glass on the other side.
So
and then she runs out
of the car. Yeah.
With the keys in the ignition, and you're like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
like,
the only thing... Like,
and she lives. She doesn't die in the film.
We don't see her again. She lives a happy life, probably with a nice family. And
I hope you know what? Wouldn't it be great if in 2018 Halloween we find her, it's old lady nurse, and like she's the first one to fucking die in this sequel. I would immediately give 5 stars.
It would be so good if there was a knock at the window. Mike Myers is literally there staring at her like a fucking creep.
Oh my goodness, please.
And she decides, he knocks on her window, and instead of like, driving away or, the car's locked and screaming, calling for help, she just winds down the window and he stabs her in the face. Oh. That would be the perfect joke for Halloween 2018.
I love just how it cuts from like that scene to like, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's walking about, she's like, she's like a young hotshot high school kid. And there's that little kid that comes up to her in the streets and like he's acting as though he's like her boyfriend. He's like, oh, we're going to hang out tonight. Are we going to come around to my house? Yeah. He's like this like 8-year-old kid and he's either got the biggest balls on him or he just doesn't know his place. But then she's like, oh yeah, no, we'll probably do it. And then like, he's like, cool. And then she goes up to the horror house and she checks it out. He's like, oh yeah, no, there's haunted. And she's like, tee hee hee, silly me. And she walks away. But then Mike Myers steps into the frame and he was inside that horror house the whole time.
Oh my god.
And you were just like, fuck, that's when I knew this film was just gonna, it was the start of many shots of just Mike Myers just waiting for the camera to put him into frame.
Oh my god, but even one of my favorite Mike Myers reveal in the film.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
Is the one, after the bodies, no, after the couple.
I thought it was like the couple that making out on the couch and it pulls back and there's him.
That's top 2.
Oh, okay.
That's very good. That was my favorite one.
Because when we were watching it together, you reacted a lot to that. You literally like fist pumped the air as that scene happened.
My favorite one is personally, it happens after that, and it was so good that I couldn't even comment. It was so perfect. So the bodies have been revealed. She's walked into the shrine.
Yeah.
And she walks out into the hallways, and I'm expecting he's going to be in that hallway somewhere. And she moves to the side, and I think there's a cupboard or something, but there's an open doorway to one side, but she's against the...
And it's all black
the
behind that other door.
And then I'm kind of like... It's like one of those moments of awe that you kind of have in film of just like I'm talking about it at the moment, and I'm kind of getting emotional as I talk about it, but it's not like, oh, I'm tearing up. It's like, this is just... You have to understand how exciting and awesome this is. She's standing on the
expert directing. Like, yeah.
Left of the frame, shot composition's perfect. She's like, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's giving a great performance. Tearing up, and you're going, holy shit, he's somewhere. And then the white silhouette of that mask. It's just you might even miss it if you're not looking for it. But it just, of course,
it just steps casually into the light. Like,
it's so good.
But you say great performance from Jamie Lee Curtis, and like, she's good in this, but like, I don't know if it's like
oh no, it's not an Oscar-worthy performance.
It's just her screaming and being...
Like I said, these aren't characters.
They really aren't characters. Even he isn't a character. Like,
no, these are
not
just
any characters.
These are just personifications of things to make you have a good time, to bring out your human instincts in the theater of what you would do, and to put yourself in the shoes of these people and kind of fill them out for yourself.
Yeah,
and I think it makes
brilliant. Attempts at it though. It does. Like I love how like the kid gets bullied at the start of the film, and you try and feel sorry for him, and you think that might be like he might get comeuppance to the bullies, I do not feel any. I don't feel. Very quickly, you lose all lack of you lose all lack of respect or care for any of these characters at the start. But you're still like, you're a human being, so you relate to the fact that they're humans, and you go just do this, and if they die, it still makes it fun. My point is that any of these characters, they're dumb instantly by the way they act during the daytime in the setup. Yeah.
There is a man standing there in the most horrifying mask that I've ever seen. Like, that is not a Halloween mask that you buy from a shop. Incidentally, it actually is. It's a William Shatner mask.
Yeah.
But they've obviously designed it like that's not how the mask normally
But there's so many characters see him and just don't react.
He is fucking terrifying in those daytime scenes.
Like when the boys attack the kid and he drops the pumpkin, like one of the boy kids runs off and he's there and he grabs the kid. The kid looks at him, he looks at him, and he's holding him. And
that kid's the smartest kid in the movie. Yeah, and he runs away.
He just immediately runs away, and Mike Myers lets him go.
Yeah,
and then
stalks this other kid.
The bullied kid, he just like starts walking off. He leaves the pumpkin in the middle of the path, which is bad pollution. Thank you. Like at least clean that shit up, even if you did drop the pumpkin. You know, no one wants that mess in the school. And then he just walks by, and then Mike Myers just starts stalking him in a car, drives along him, and the kid doesn't even look left. You're like, what kind of neighborhood do you live in? No neighborhood, even in the 70s, was that safe. Just my 2 cents, Brenton.
I totally agree. I'm going to add to it. In the classroom scene where Jamie Lee Curtis is sitting in the class, and she looks out the window, and she sees that fucking horror. It's horrifying.
Yeah, because you don't see it coming as well.
That expression. He's standing behind the car. He's standing behind the mental asylum car.
Also, is that the first time you see him in the mask? I think that's the first time you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a reveal! Like,
and it's like it's not a close up. It's this very. It's a.
You get the icon.
It's very far away, and you don't even see his whole body. You just see his head poking over the top of a car, and it's horrifying. And those black eyes, those black circular eyes are just staring at her. Oh, it's giving me the chills now. And she gets asked a question. She goes, "Oh, miss, what's the question? Oh, pay attention and whatever."
She's like, "Pay attention, and it's like, Jamie."
Dude, if I said this to you straight away. If I was sitting in a classroom and I looked out the window and I saw that across the street and the teacher asked me a fucking question, I'd say, "Yeah, never mind that bitch. Look out the fucking window right fucking now."
Even if it's Halloween, even if it's like just out by the window, I'll be like, there's a man who's just been following. But here's the thing. She does this like 6 times in the movie where she thinks she sees him. It's the same guy.
Yep.
There's a point where the kid sees him too, and he lets her know that he's seen Mike Myers. And he's like, "Oi, there's a fucker outside." And she's like, "Oh, you're just seeing things, kid. You're just seeing things." I'm like, "You've been seeing things all day."
That's point number 1. There's like 3 or 4. Yeah, there's 4 points in the film that you just can't even.
I know. This is the movie of you can't even.
Let's call you dumb fuck. This is a new section. We could make this really long because like there's a lot that happens, but I'm going to specifically focus on Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
You dumb fuck. Let's go over Jamie Lee Curtis.
They're all dumb fucks, for sure. Let's focus on Curtis.
The mistake number 1 is the classroom.
Yes.
The house we can excuse because it's a dark house and, you know, there's a creepy silhouette in there. You know, you're not really looking. You're throwing a key under the door, you're leaving it. You look out on the street, you see someone standing there, someone asks you a question in class, you fucking say something, get that lockdown alarm on, everyone get under the desk and wait for the fucking SWAT team to get there to fucking pop the guy in the head. Anyway, the second point. Oh my God. You're walking down the street from school and less than 10 meters from you,
directly ahead,
Mike Myers is standing there, staring at you in this fucking inhumane mask with these black eyes. You can't make out his expression. He's like 7 feet tall and he walks behind the hedge as you get closer.
Smart move. She sends the friend. She's
to be fair, you don't send anyone. Again, you call the SWAT team into fucking like...
Friends, not all of us just have SWAT teams we can just call.
Don't we? Well, Barry, go to the other room. Go, take the boys with you.
Is that why they were here? I was about to say, I don't have enough tea for all of them, Brenton. Like...
And then she sends, but again, like, she stops. Like, she does stop. So, she doesn't just keep strolling by, so thank God for that. But it's a quizzical look of,
he would have stabbed her in the middle of the street as well.
Well, part of me thinks, is she thinking, is that, like, am I going insane? But it's like, there's nothing that's happened to her that we know of that would make her think that she's unstable at that point, that she's seeing things. And that's clearly a person standing there. And then the friend doesn't even see it.
Because they're looking down their notes. Friend. Michael Myers, he exposes himself a lot in this movie.
Oh my God, I was genuinely surprised.
Like when the psychiatrist comes to town and like his car is driving behind the like psychiatrist, you're like, just turn around, like.
Oh my God, I just realized there's 5 points in you dumb fucks. You just added 1. So then the next point is the next point is inside. She gets home. She's by herself in the house.
Yeah.
She goes up to her bedroom and she looks out the fucking window into the backyard.
I think
it's the side yard actually. And the clothesline's there. He's standing in the clothesline on her property, staring up into her room with the same vacant, creepy ass fucking mask and expression. Like I said to you straight away, we're in America in the 70s. Her dad's got I know that dad. He's got a double-barreled shotgun in that house.
And she could have just grabbed it, just been
that
like,
she has access to. Grab that shotgun, bar that door, call the cops, and just wait till someone gets
You know what's really interesting? There's actually no guns in this movie apart from the end of the film. Like,
yes,
because he
you're right.
only ever has a knife, and like, you feel like you could you realistically, Brenton, could you take on someone with a knife? If push come to shove, could you do it? Yeah, like you could try and disarm them. Like maybe like they probably have a bad aim. Like I don't know, but they just have nothing. They have no weapons. And then when she sees him in the clothesline, she like the phone rings and there's this creepy as hell like a munching sound almost. It's like that kind of sound. And she's like, who is this? And you're like, you dumb bitch. like lock the doors, hide your kids, hide your wife.
There's a guy.
And then the phone rings again. It's her friend, and she's like, "Haha, you're such a stupid prankster." I'm like, "You deserve to die at this point." Like, was that the breaking moment for you? Because I'm like, I do not care.
The breaking moment was before that. Breaking moment was the classroom.
Oh, that's when you're
I was like, this girl deserves to die.
Like this idiot.
So then we go on to the next point, and which is you briefly brought up, was that they're driving to someone's house, and they're being tailed. Again, they get
tailed like thrice in this movie.
But the way he's tailing, it's not even subtly. It's not like he's waiting and a couple cars behind him.
The car's so close.
He's within 5 meters of the car, tailing them. You, as a driver, as a passenger, you notice that shit straight away.
But they don't.
And if you look back and you see that mask
is that when they're
staring at
smoking
you,
weed? Like they're in the car, they're like, "Oh, do you like Lionel?"
Well, maybe that's it.
Like,
maybe she's a drug addict and she's thinking, "Oh, I'm tripping." like, I'm
saying
things.
Maybe all the characters are just really stoned the whole film. Like the kids, the cop, everyone. They're just really stoned, and that's why they're getting away with it. Maybe he's stoned. Maybe that's why he's doing it. He's just grinning out, and he's just like, "I gotta stab something.
I gotta do something. I gotta do something."
Yeah.
I don't know why he's like suddenly hillbilly. Oh my Mars!
Whoops, murder.
So yeah, final point of you dumb fucks is little boy. There's the boogeyman out there. He was carrying a corpse. No, you're a naughty boy. Go to watch the TV. When earlier today there was a man standing on your property, the same man that you saw come out from behind a hedge and block you, the same man that was staring at you from across from your fucking school. That boy, it's just
they're just incoherent, aren't they?
Oh my god.
Yeah. But you know what? Great deaths. Like, great deaths to all of them. I love it when, I love the build up for the laundry when the chick is like getting the water and that kind of stuff. And
there's so much build up for that chick. I think.
Because I said that to you at some point during the film. I was like, I want to release, I want to breathe out, but I can't because it takes a while for a murder to happen. Like the very first murder,
and it's brilliant. That tension's brilliant.
Yeah, because also there's so many opportunities where he could have struck.
That's it.
But he doesn't.
He stands in like 7 doorways in that house before.
When she was leaning out the window, I was expecting like him to kill her secretly, and then the little girl to pull her body back in, and it's just a body. I was like, I think that's how it's going to be done, but it isn't. And it just takes so long. And then I actually breathed out. I actually had to relax because I'm like, oh, maybe he just won't end up killing her. And then she goes to the garage and she gets in the car, and just and like a lion, he just pounces, like he just strikes, and because he doesn't even do it with the knife, because you're expecting it's the knife, but he just chokes her, and then she does the one smart thing that character has ever done in the movie. She like kicks the car horn.
Yeah.
And he strangles her, and also no one reacts to the car horn as well, which is weird. But like,
okay, but let's be honest. We're sitting in this room now. It's a late night. If you heard a car horn go off,
yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it was a great point that you also made in this film. While we were watching it, you said the lack of mobile phones really makes a difference, and you are so damn right. Like if any characters had any mode of communication, then sure, but because so many characters just rock up to houses and go, "Oh, I assume this person's doing that thing,"
because and it's
they had no other way of knowing back then.
Well, so when I arrive at Nathan's house to record a podcast, I always call him. I don't usually knock. I always call him and say, "Hey man, I'm down here. Do you want to come get me?" And you come in, and we know where each other are even before I even come to you. I message you and we confirm that we're recording or whatever we're doing. Yeah. And that's what you do. And so you confirm where people are and you know where people are most of the time. Like, there's find friends apps and stuff on phones.
Yeah, I don't go that far. I don't like look at GPS coordinates of mates.
No, but I'm just saying that option is there. Like,
oh yeah, in
you know
emergencies
what I mean?
you can broadcast where you are. And
That's
say,
exactly
I need
right.
help.
Whereas in
You
this,
can Facebook Live now, which is great.
That's right.
Yeah.
But if I lost my phone and I came home and like no one was home, I'd assume people had gone out.
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean?
Could you imagine if in the 2018 Halloween that film, like Mike Myers just bursts into Jamie Lee Curtis's house, she just opens up her smartphone, puts on Facebook Live, and she just starts broadcasting the whole event to all of her Facebook friends, being like captioning, "It's happening again," and then all of her Facebook friends are like angry reacting, and they're like sad reacting,
and then
like,
Brenton,
run Jamie Lee Curtis,
and then Brenton calls his SWAT team and they save it. Yep.
We got to watch a film where there is a SWAT team, just so you can get your SWAT team active. Like, I know
Barry,
the boys are downstairs right now, but
Barry, it's happening soon. Be ready.
oh, they're still finishing their cup of teas.
Oh.
Can you not bring 10 guys to my house next time? Like, it's just a whole thing hosting them all. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't know what's worse, those guys or like those huge like guns they carry all the time. You know.
but I see. I can fear my neighbors with that. You know, I can strike fear into their hearts. Think like,
I think the worst thing as well is that their SWAT van just kind of takes up the whole street. Just
parking tickets. Don't even get me started on that. Like, they have to ask me for a permit. I have to apply to the government. It's like, these are guests as well. These are your SWAT team I have to do this for. Like, thanks, Brenton. But
so we were talking about deaths before. Let's talk about our favourites and our least favourites.
oh yeah, my favorite, as the one I enjoyed the most, was probably the couple. I really love that death. Where where the boy,
car,
yeah,
yeah.
they no, the car, the couple. It's like where
The couple.
they're having sex, which is the weirdest sex I've ever seen in a film, because like their legs are in directions they shouldn't be, and you're just like, they're not having sex.
It was almost the Room levels of
Yeah.
It
was definitely Tommy Wiseau. Oh, I would have killed to see him in this film, but but like yeah, and then like you know he goes downstairs, grab the beer, he gets killed. Oh, and Mike Myers just leaps. Because the guy like is down the kitchen for a while, and then because he checks all these different doors, because one of the outdoor doors creeps open. You're like, oh, is it gonna be him? And it's not. But then like Mike Myers just leaps as soon as that door opens, and
that's it. That's actually my favorite one.
Oh, you too?
That's my favorite because it's so like the tension obviously builds, and you know
it's coming. Like because the first death is out of the way, so that's when you know the bloodbath has started. Like,
but it's the way when that kid bloody opens that door, and just it's like it reminds. Oh
it's
god,
so quick, isn't it? Like I'm
gonna make a lot of the Rings reference again. It's like the Nazgul. It's the Black Riders. How they just kind of move. They move,
glide, don't they?
They glide.
Yeah.
He glides in, and it's so brutal, but it's also so elegant. And I was just like, whoa, like...
Yeah. It's like you're watching like a doco, and you're just seeing like the lion pounce on the Giselle. And
oh my god, it's incredible. And it's like he's just been dying for him to open the door. And then it's my favorite as well, because it's referenced again in the film, when Jamie Lee Curtis comes through that door, and she goes to open that door, and then she doesn't. And my thought was, if she'd have opened that door, Mike was behind the door. I had the thought, I was like, he was totally behind that door. And if she'd opened it, she'd be fucking on that wall as well. Because
it's like his go-to move. Like,
you could tell, like, he enjoyed that kill. Like,
he's all like...
Because he holds the guy there, and then he just kind of pushes the knife into him.
Yeah. Also, that knife should not be holding him up. Like,
yes.
Physics-wise, that does not make any sense.
Speaking of things that make no sense, we should also talk about Dumbfuck's number 2. That guy should have screamed. Like when he was being held against the wall. Yeah. Should have screamed.
It's just, because he dies instantly. As soon as that knife goes to him, he's insta dead. And I'm like, I don't think that's how death works. But like, I'm not a doctor, but like, you know, I think you go before you actually cork it. Like, I don't know.
So that's our favorite death then.
That's our favorite.
Did you want to talk about the sheet? Because you were saying the couple, so the girl's death as well. Did you want to talk about her?
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about it before, like when he rocks up with that sheet and she's like, why are you dressed up as a sheet? Like,
but it's still a creepy image of him standing in that doorway like that. It was so funny to me that he had the glasses on.
Oh, yeah, you were laughing at that point.
Oh, it was so good. Like, it's so much fun. It was like, yes, like that's just silly.
The death I was saddest at was like, well, obviously it's the dog, right?
I would say that's the most unnecessary death.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that stupid bitch Annie deserves to die for, like, she has an Alsatian, a German Shepherd, the guard dog, barking like a freaking maniac.
Like the genuine bark dog.
And she sends it outside, to which it barks again. It then whimpers it gives the death rattle, which she hears and says, "Oh, good, that bitch shut up." And it was like, You deserve to die.
You do deserve to die.
And she does, and I was happy she died.
I know.
But in
you
saying
know,
that,
and you know she's going to die as soon as she gets naked as well.
Exactly.
Isn't that? Because
Exactly.
because you and I, as soon as she started taking her top off, we're like,
We just
oh! Immediately she's going to be murdered.
I will say just about her death as well, really quickly, that the tension builds so much in this film. And I have to say, like I said to you straight after this death, I was like, yes, like, for me, the tension evaporated completely in the film after that first death, which was a good thing, because it meant I could have fun with it. But I was just waiting for him to kill someone because it was stressing me out so much. That when he finally did it, it was terrifying, it was awful, and then it was like, here we go. And go. And then Mike just unleashed. So yeah.
But yeah, there was also another thing I noticed in this film was the horror. Was like a trope where like horror movies mention other horror movies. So like how they're talking about that kind of stuff and they're all watching horror movies. Is it? Wouldn't it be funny if other movies did this? Like, imagine if like rom-coms like just kept on like, well, they do a little bit. Rom-coms like watch other rom-coms and that kind of stuff. But imagine if like superhero movies were watching other superhero movies and they were all referencing it. Or imagine if you were like watching like a crime thriller and they were mentioning other crime thrillers. Like, I don't know. I love that horror for some reason has this huge meta like culture attached to it. Like,
and it's embraced and it's fun.
Yeah,
like,
I think it really alleviates a lot of that tension. I think that's what makes it work. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I just had an image because I'm gonna make a Spider-Man reference now because it has to be made. Can you imagine watching Spider-Man? I haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, but imagine watching Spider-Man Homecoming with Tom Holland, and then he switches on the TV and like Spider-Man 3's on. Like, or even better, Spider-Man 1, and it's like, out am I? And he's like, oh.
Exactly. He's like, I've only been Spider-Man for a couple months, they're already making fan movies about me.
God.
That's what I hope with Mysterio. That's what I hope they do with the new Spidey that they're making. Like, it gets really meta.
Oh my god. I am so excited for Mysterio to be, like, given the mantle of a villain in a Spider-Man film, because, God, Quentin Beck, dude, that guy deserves it.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I want to talk about the climax of this film, or the because that's like the juice, the creme de la creme, should I say? The
secret sauce.
It's when Mike Myers finally locks her in the house and she runs about, and she runs into the cupboard, which is like, could you not have done a more dumb move? Because you're just gonna be trapped now. And then he pierces the wardrobe, he jumps on in, and she attacks him. But with the poke of a coat hanger, which is probably the worst shot in the whole movie. Because you see her unwind a coat hanger, and she just goes, and she like stabs it forward loosely. You never see it actually pierce him, but that's it. He jumps back a little bit and he drops the knife, and then she's like, and just stab him already. And she gives him a quick little stab, and he falls down, and he collapses, and then she just like walks past him and drops the knife. And you're just like, because she drops it, because before that scene, there's another one where, she attacks him, on the couch.
That's right.
Yeah, and she stabs him and he falls down, and she picks up the knife and then she just drops it. And I'm like, you dropped this knife twice, and like, even after the moment where you thought he was dead, he comes back, he attacks you in the wardrobe, you've stabbed him and you think he's dead again. You drop the knife again, and you just walk over to see if the kids are all right, and then you send them off, and now you're alone. It's like,
not only that, but she has a back to him while she talks to the kids. Yeah,
what a great shot though when you see him get up and he's like, he looks, he's like,
dude, that's the perfect sound effect.
I'll edit it into the movie. And then she's just walking to the other room, and then he just chokes her. He throws her down the stairs. That's a huge fall she takes, and she takes it quite well. Like, she's limping off, and then finally that bloody psychiatrist that does nothing the whole movie except from like standing by the house spooking little children. Like,
yeah, I love how he's like, I'm terrified, and like, we need to do this. We need to do it now. This is my priority. Kids? Well, better scare them.
You idiot. And so he finally just happens to stumble upon the house, and then he goes up, and there's Mike Myers, and he fires the first shot, and Mike Myers leaps back, but then he's just standing there, and then the guy's like, oh shit, and he just fires like 8 rounds into Mike Myers, and he finally falls off. Great shot where Mike Myers falls off the house.
Yeah.
And then the guy walks to the balcony, and Mike Myers is gone. And that's it. That's how the film ends. It's so spooky.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's my theory. I reckon none of those bullets actually hit him. I reckon Mike Myers was just faking it. Like, the guy was so scared he just missed Mike Myers, but Mike Myers knew what was going on, so he just reacted. He knew the jig was up, and so he just, like, pretended to fall back and land on the grass and then run away.
Why would he, though?
Because the jig was up, Brenton. Because Jamie Lee Curtis had backup. He had been stabbed twice already, so he was probably feeling very weak at that point. So
true.
I reckon he's like, nah, I'll come back, and then.
But the guy empties
and then
a revolver.
Did for like 10 more movies.
the guy empties his revolver, right? Like he's fired all the shots. So if he's missed every shot, what's to stop Mike Myers from walking up to him and stabbing him and killing him?
I don't know. He's probably weakened from being stabbed.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I also like when you briefly see his actual face when the mask comes off.
Oh, it's so brief, and then he pulls that thing back.
Yeah, he's really scared without it. That's actually a moment of vulnerability I quite like.
Yeah. Oh, good movie.
Great movie.
Good movie, dude.
So hey, dude,
Hey, man.
Let's check out this film's poster.
Let's check it out.
Oh, I'm very excited to show you this movie poster. Put your bad boy eyes onto this.
Oh wow.
Look at that. And then can you read out that caption for me?
The night he came home.
The night he came home. Isn't it?
Dude, perfect poster.
Perfect poster. Pay attention. Like folks at home, like, give this a Google. Just type in Halloween 1978 poster. Like, this is how you should be doing posters these days. Just
that is a poster I would like. Honestly, I'm considering. I want to get that and frame it and put it somewhere. Like, put that on a wall.
Would it be right next to your poster from the guy from Blade? Like...
Oh my god, yes. Yes.
Quentin, whatever his name is. Like.
Oh my god, nice shades, man.
The night he came. But,
yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, that... See, this is what posters should be. This is why I introduced this segment. Like, it's just a simple icon. It's a great tagline. It's an icon, isn't it?
It's simple, but it's also, it's got some flair. It's very original. The fact, that knife, the hand holding the knife, and then there's like the same kind of shape. The knife shape is still making that pumpkin behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
The night he came home, it's just, it evokes that 50s B movie horror film,
yes.
But it's
got a bit of class.
It's just. I feel like movies these days, they're just so, and I felt like I sound like a hipster, but I'm like, they're just so commercialized, and just so many posters are geared towards showing off as many characters and just, showing off the cast and, the production and all that. It's like, just be a movie, just be an experience, you know what I mean? It's just... Exactly, yeah. It's just, I don't know, but even, I point at blockbusters, but even indie films these days, have been, weaponized to doing this kind of stuff. Like, if you look at the poster for, Lady Bird, you look at the poster for, Shape of Water or that kind of stuff. I don't know, it's too polished. You know what I mean? That's it, yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I'm trying to think, I think, the most creative posters I've seen in a while has been the Deadpool posters. I don't know, yes and no, but at least they're Deadpool, doing stuff. Yeah. Deadpool 2, I don't think was a very creative poster. It's like the classic stitch up them all together. I think the original Deadpool marketing is probably the freshest marketing I've seen. In movies for a very long time. But but I'm trying to think other posters that are kind of original. From these days, I like the Baby Driver one where you see the car. Which one? Sorry, Baby Driver. Oh yes, where the car comes out of the gun. Oh, see, I don't love that. But I agree, it's original to it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll think of it. We'll put our mind to it. So then title talk. Yes. Halloween. Brenton, was there Halloween in Halloween? There was a heap of Halloween. There was so much Halloween. Yeah. Although, to be honest with you, I don't think the night of Halloween played that much into the film. No, I was going to say that I didn't I feel like Halloween's kind of a cop-out in the sense of what do we call this? And it's like Halloween. Like it's set on a scary night. And that'll be that, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. But then this film easily could have happened any other night of the year. What could you have called it? I don't know, I feel like great horror movies have just one-worded titles, if that makes sense. Maybe I'd just call it slasher, or because apparently this didn't pioneer the slasher genre, but I think it revolutionized it. It was one of the early examples of it. But I think Hitchcock probably would have pioneered it or something like that. But a better title than Halloween, maybe The Boogeyman, because they call him that a lot. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's not bad. Yeah, all right. We'll go back to the execs. I think Halloween's the name. If you're gonna call it Halloween, make it a very thick Halloween film. I don't know. They didn't really show many kids trick or treating. It would have been great if he ambushed a bunch of little kids. Oh god. I mean, obviously, I don't want to see little kids die, but in this film, it would have worked. No, I see. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but yeah, well, yeah, but man, nailed that poster. Title. Yeah, works. I think it works. It's pretty iconic, obviously, and
But I feel like it's a bit of a cop out, and it's like it kind of ticks the box. It's like it's set on Halloween. Yeah.
So should we hear what the people are saying?
Let's give the power to the people.
Let's hear what they're saying. So Rotten Tomatoes.
They got the power.
I'm pleased to say that this film has 93% Rotten Tomatoes.
93?
93 with 89% for audience score. So, people are loving it, including you and I. And let's go through what they're saying, Brenton. Let's get some opinions on the board. So, let me have a look. Don't mind me, viewers, just getting up the reviews. Okay. So, Marianne Johnson, she didn't like it at all. She said, it's boring, it's not scary. There, I said it. I mean, is this film boring?
Marianne, no, it's not. This film has some good pacing.
You know what? This is not a film that you can just, go on your phone while you're watching.
No.
Because then you would find it quite boring, in my opinion.
But also, maybe watching it alone as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You don't...
Yeah.
Because you have to be in it to like it.
But then again, I think if I watched this by myself, I'd still be in it, In
it to win it. James T, he gave it 5 stars. He said, perfection, a slasher fan's dream. Now, is it? Because, it's a great movie, but, if you want
I don't know
gore...
if it's a slasher film.
Yeah, it's not that gory, frankly.
Yeah. No.
There are proper bloodbath films you could watch over this.
Exactly, yeah. I don't know if it's slasher. It's slasher in the sense that he has a knife and he slashes people, but...
I guess by definition you've got to count it.
But I guess that's it. Yeah.
No. Mikar S gave it 3 stars. Mikar said, yes, it's iconic. Yes, it's John Carpenter. Yes, the musical score is great. Halloween is a very simple, fast-paced and small movie that is rather dated. Therefore, this movie is overrated. Some of the performances from the supporting cast are shockingly bad, but Jamie Lee Curtis, Donald Pleasance and Carpenter and The Masked Evil make a semi-fun, atmospheric and timeless romp.
I think the bad performances are the point.
Yeah, but it's not ironic. They're not doing it ironically, I think.
No, I think it's directed that way though.
Yeah.
And I also think, I think it has aged well. I disagree.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think this 100% stands
I think,
up.
obviously there's some bad blood effects maybe. There's clearly let's call it the red paint effect of the stuff that looks like red paint. But that doesn't matter.
It's like a Bond opening shot, with the bullet blood.
But it's still, it doesn't matter because there's so much tension.
It's so much tension.
Yeah.
Ben Rawson James, he liked it. He gave it 5 out of 5. He said, still relevant, still scary. Make a date on Halloween night to witness cinema's scariest Michael Myers, unless you've seen The Love Guru, causing carnage on the big screen.
I gotta say, thanks for the advice. What was this person's name again? Sorry?
Ben Rawson Jones.
Ben Rawson Jones, thanks for the advice, because I think, as I was telling Nathan before this podcast, my girlfriend...
She loves got a girlfriend. Ooh.
I do. She loves the horror genre. It's her favorite genre.
She does, actually.
So,
she's horrifying herself, frankly.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So, I will... This is on the agenda for a date night. This is on the agenda for a little...
Because you'd watch this again, wouldn't you?
Oh, dude, I can't wait to watch it again. I just said I was going to get this poster and potentially frame it on the wall.
It'd be a good one for a date night, actually. I think you and a girl would... a guy and... any partner, a guy and a guy, girl and a girl, anything, you would have a great time with this.
Oh, it's fun time.
Also, it's absolutely right. It is probably the scariest Michael Myers since the Love Guru. Wrestler R gave it 1 star.
Have you seen Shrek? Those farmers with their pitchforks look pretty terrifying.
Oh goodness!
Apologies. Keep going.
Reza said 1 star. She said terrible acting and non-existent gore.
Well, I feel like that's a case of, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, the acting's bad. Like I said, that's the point. No gore. Yeah, but I feel like that's not what you're coming to this for. This isn't a slasher film. This isn't a gore fest. This isn't a Saw. It's not a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is it's just classic horror, I think.
It's just a jolly good time.
Yeah.
Just a jolly good fun
Watching
time.
Kids get murdered. Fun times.
Would you let a kid watch this? Probably because the boobs are probably
I'd say
I'd let a 14-year-old watch this.
I'm trying to find the age. I think teenagers. Yeah,
I'd let a teenager watch this.
Yeah,
it'd be fine.
Maybe 12. Yeah.
Well, see, you and I have very different definitions because of our different childhoods. But
yeah, I'd say but probably teenager, 13, year 7. Yeah.
Tim Brenton, he said he gave it 5 out of 5. He said, virtually perfect. It is one horror film that I would beg each and every lover of movies to watch, if only you could pick one.
Yeah, I think it's up there.
It's pretty damn good.
I think it's up there.
Variety, the magazine Variety, one of the most prolific film magazines, did not like it at all. And Variety said, after a promising opening, Halloween becomes just another maniac on the loose suspenser. Here's the thing. I'm sure if you've seen a lot of Halloween rip-offs and then you finally get to Halloween, or a lot of like a guy on a loose killing, I'm sure this would seem quite bland. But I guess because you and I are so unexposed to this genre, we probably do find it quite fresh. So there probably is something to preface this with, this review.
It's got class though.
It doesn't. This is your Oscar.
It's got class, and it's got I feel like that music is the thing that tips it over the edge.
Yeah.
And I want to make a point about the music before the episode finishes.
We'll do it now.
Yep.
I wasn't ready, Nathan.
Was that our last person from the people?
Oh no, we got two more.
Let's go through two more,
cool,
and then
cool.
I'll say it. Yeah.
Daniel P. Oh, sorry, Daniel Pill. Can I speak today?
What's going on there?
I think Mike Myers got the tongue. Cat's got my tongue from the previous ep.
Yeah, I had it before, dude. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Daniel P. He gave it 5 stars, and he wrote, to put it simply, Carpenter's Halloween exudes cool confidence, like killing is going out of style. It's so profoundly aggressive about setting its own rhythm. Full stop. What's crazier is that countless films over several decades have tried so hard to follow the loose confounds of a teenage slasher narrative, yet somehow, outside maybe 5 other films ever, they all failed even one moment as entertaining as Halloween. And then he wrote in all caps after that, Hail Satan. I'm not fucking with you, it literally just says that. He wrote this really eloquent review and then he says, Hail Satan. Hey man, if you want to Hail Satan to this, you do you.
You do you. I don't know if we can condone this review now. I think we're going to hell.
Mate, we're doing that long before we start this podcast. So. And lastly, Tom Milne, he loved it. And he said, perhaps not quite so resonant as Psycho, to which it pays due homage, but it breathes the same air. So, absolutely. I think, what do you reckon is better, this or Psycho?
Oh, they're very different films.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, this takes much in inspiration. As a film, Psycho, yes.
I probably had more fun with this than Psycho, I'll give it that.
But that's what I was going to say. If you're going to watch a horror film, this is more perfect, let's say, than Psycho.
And Psycho takes a while to get going.
That's right. I wouldn't even call Psycho that much of a horror piece. I think it's a lot more
of a... It's like the last third of the act, of the film.
That's it. Yeah. And I think it's more of a character study, to be honest.
Yeah. Great film, though, Psycho.
Oh, Psycho's amazing.
Yeah. We've got to do more Hitchcock. We've only done one Hitchcock. We've got to get back into it.
I know, and it was a great film, Spellbound.
Oh, I still love Spellbound. Watch Spellbound if you want to watch anything.
So, shall I make my point about the music?
Yeah, go for the music.
I can't understate how incredible the music is for this film, because I feel that if the film didn't have the music, it would be nowhere near as good as it is.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's a lot of horror though. A lot of great horror is sound design and sound effects and the score. Like, it's all music.
Yeah. I was going to say that about the Star Wars point of it as well, and the reason that I kind of brought up the Star Wars thing is that I don't think Star Wars would be as successful as it was if it didn't have.
Isn't it that George Lucas is famously quoted saying as though, like, I was disappointed with everything about the original Star Wars because it wasn't as I wanted it to be, except for the score. He said that was the only thing he genuinely was like, this is where I wanted it to be for the original Star Wars. Everything else is like, I wish the technology was better back then, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, the music is extraordinary.
But yeah, and I feel like it really makes it. It puts it in that iconic / kind of, let's say, classic status.
Yeah. It is a classic soundtrack. Like, you could easily download this on like Spotify or something and then just listen to it. Maybe not during the day, because you might be a little bit creeped out by that.
Because honestly, if you watch this film on mute without music, like just the dialogue and sound effects and whatnot, it'd be nothing. It'd be so boring. Yeah.
That's a lot of horror film, I imagine, though. I reckon it's hugely reliant on sound.
So go John Carpenter. You're the man.
What a legend. Now, Brenton, you and I are a little bit... We're such bad podcasters.
This is long overdue, this little segment we're about to do, because...
You know, we had our 20th anniversary last week. The 20th episode. And we didn't know when we did our 10th episode if we were going to do this, but we said maybe every 10 episodes or so we should look back and give an update on how we feel about the previous 10 films. And I know, that felt good when we did Rocky 2 back then. So this was supposed to be in episode 20. We're doing it today. Who cares? We're getting around to it. So,
as I say, rip off the Band-Aid. Let's go.
All right. So this is a recap of episodes 11 to 20.
Yes.
So if you can't be bothered listening to those episodes, just listen to these quick updates on how we
tune
feel
in.
about
Let's
the film.
go.
So like last time, these are bite-sized reviews. We'll spend
Yep.
like half a minute on each film and then just whiz on past. All right, so Ep 11, we did Do the Right Thing. We both said yes to Do the Right Thing. Stand by that?
I do stand by that.
Yeah. It's good. Like, I think over time, I loved it, but yeah, I think it's still quite good.
Oh, it's still got a bit of a middling kind of beginning.
Yeah.
But once it gets going, it really gets going, and that ending
The ending makes it worth
is
it.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely watch Do the Right Thing. Last Temptation of Christ, we both said no.
There's some interesting ideas in it. There's some really interesting ideas in it. Will I watch it again? Maybe. Yeah, probably. Maybe.
Nah,
but I'd still stand by a no. But for this podcast, for this show, but
I would never see.
Yeah,
this film again.
I'll watch it again one day and really
just YouTube clip
into
Willem Dafoe if you really want to see what he does with it. But like, honestly, nah, don't watch Last Temptation. There's so much better Scorsese. Blade, we both said yes.
Oh my god, fuck! I
still dream
2
about
words.
Blade. Like
2 words, fuck yes. Like it's
so good. It's
so
easily
good.
one of the best films we've reviewed. It's probably the film I've had the most fun watching, besides Predator. But like,
and besides this for me, yeah.
But like, yeah, absolutely. Blade, please watch Blade. If you love any superhero movie, please watch Blade. If you love
Incredible.
Deadpool, please watch Blade.
Oh, so awesome. Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs. You said yes, I said no.
This is one of the best thrillers, if not the best thriller ever made. And
I still stand by my no.
I can't believe you stand by your no. It's incredible.
You want to see a thriller? Watch Argo. That's a thriller. Argo's a great thriller. Watch watch The Hurt Locker. That's a great thriller. Like
both those films are great, but they don't hold a candle to Silence of the Lambs.
Wow.
They don't even come close. There's a significant gap between them.
I must say, Silence of the Lambs is very great. I'm sure everyone had a great time watching it, but honestly, I wanted more. Damn it, I wanted more.
Masterpiece. It's great. Yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, so stand by our answers. Episode 15, we did our 7 seasons. We can't really review that.
It was a fun time though. If you haven't listened to it, really
please
listen
do.
to it.
I think it's definitely one of our strongest.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because the rest are shit. Am I right?
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah,
I'm unsubscribed now.
We suck. Am I right?
Predator. You said no. I said yes.
I stand by my no. Yeah, no way.
Oh, come on, it's so much fun.
Comparing this,
Stick around.
Comparing in terms of fun, that to this to Halloween and Blade. Nah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Predator's so much more fun than Halloween.
Nah. No.
Oh, no, ignore Brenton viewers. It's so good. It's so much fun.
It's got
watch 10 minutes if you don't like it. In 10 minutes in, don't watch it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Boogie Nights. We both said yes.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Yes. No, it's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Has it faded since you last saw it?
Well, it's not my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film, so it's
That's
really
true.
good. It's just I go, oh yeah, Boogie Nights. Oh, There Will Be Blood. I watched the start of There Will Be Blood the other day. Holy shit, dude! Like Paul Thomas Anderson, man, great director. So yeah, Boogie Nights. Yes.
Still not going to watch Phantom Thread though, are you?
No, I plan to, man.
Oh.
I can't wait. I really can't wait. I really want to watch Phantom Thread.
Nice. Yeah, please watch Boogie. Goodness. Better than porn. Turn off that porn and watch Boogie Nights. That's what you should be doing.
Shut that laptop and put on that
Shut
Blu-ray.
it down. Deliverance. You said yes, I said no.
Hell yes. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I actually have warmed up to it more than since we did the episode. Like, I still stand by the reasons I said no.
Of course, yeah.
But like, it's pretty fucking good.
I think on this podcast it's that thing of like any film can really be a yes or a no. Because every film we have a long discussion about, and there's pros and there's cons, and there's, we both have different opinions when it comes to each film. Whether it's a yes or a no is just really depends how you feel on the day, I think.
Yeah. And people's opinions of movies change all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
But, I hope any purpose we could give is to outline what old movies are and are not worth watching.
That's exactly, yeah.
But that's kind of why we're here.
Because even if I say no to something, but in my argument I say something that sparks for someone to actually watch the movie and for that person to have a yes, then my no is then kind of worthwhile because it gives that person a yes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, but
overall,
yes, Deliverance is great.
It's pretty great, but
yeah,
I know. There's better.
Yes.
There's better out there. Oh, I might even switch it to a yes. I know. We'll see. Braveheart. We both said no.
No. Yeah, I gave that. That was my.
Yeah, nah.
that was my second chance for that film, and yet it is a no.
Yeah.
Some great battle
Sorry, Mel.
scenes. That's about it.
Even then, the battle scenes I've seen better elsewhere. Watch Game of Thrones.
Watch Lord of the Rings.
Like,
yeah.
watch anything. Sorry, Mel Gibson. The Cats, we both said a deep no.
That's probably the worst film we've reviewed.
It's so bad. What do you reckon is the second worst film after that? Emerald City?
Emerald City, yeah. Cats takes the cake.
I didn't think I'd see something worse in this podcast than Emerald City.
Actually, no, it's hard. It's hard to say. Because I think Cats, there's still a certain amount of fun you can have with it.
There's no fun you can have with Emerald City. I think Emerald City fails more at what it does than Cats. Like Cats kind of does what it wants to do.
So Emerald City is still the worst film reviewed, closely followed by Cats.
Let me think about that more.
Yeah.
But maybe, probably.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
It just goes to show.
Wow.
Sorry, Emerald City. Actually, I'm not sorry, Emerald City. Be better,
No,
Emerald
don't
City.
be sorry about that shit. No.
And then, so that's the past 10. So...
And then Halloween. We'll cover Halloween in the next 10.
If we get to 30.
I would like to talk about Rocky 2 quickly.
Oh, sure, man. Yeah, go for it.
That's a yes for me. I said it's a no, but it is a yes.
Oh, you're switching it?
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
I think it's better than the first film. Yeah.
What made you turn the tables?
Oh, I've been thinking about it the last few weeks. Part of me, it's like I haven't been able to get my mind off it to a certain extent.
Oh, wow.
I think
Are you in
great.
love? Like, he's blushing, listeners. He's like waving some Japanese fan behind.
Is that the first change I've done from...
That's probably the one you stood by, probably.
Yeah. I still say no for the first film, though.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I gave a no to the first film because... Well, I gave a no to the second film because I gave a no to the first film. And so I felt like you needed to watch the first film to watch the second film. But actually you don't. I think that second film stands on its own. And it's a lot better than the first film. And yeah, it's a good time. I really got the Rocky franchise in that second film. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm really glad to hear it, dude. Well, we do Rockies every milestone.
Yeah, Rocky 3, who knows, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
I hope we go to it soon. Yeah, I'm keen, man. I'm keen. I'm so keen to see where this film goes, where this franchise goes. But, yeah.
That was
Halloween. What a
Such a good
great
night,
time.
man.
Actually, you know what? After talking to you, I don't feel that scared anymore. Like, I feel calmed down.
Did you hear that?
But Brenton, I think someone's at the door. Let me just turn all the lights off and open it ajar a little bit. It's okay. I dropped it like 5 times earlier this
Oh, that's okay.
episode,
Yeah.
So
No,
nothing bad will happen. I'm just going to...
Don't worry. Just let me take my
now.
clothes off first. And then, yeah.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open the door. You're good.
Holy fuck!